All right, gang, welcome to tonight's webinar. Jake here from Positive Existence Personal Training, and just like to start by thanking you all for giving up your time and being on the line tonight. So, first things first, we're all here to listen and or for to hear our take on how we've gone from 0 to 135 boot campers at our latest boot camp location. So, just to make sure that we're all in the right room, and also that you are able to communicate with me, just so you know. You're on mute, okay, so I won't be able to hear you ask questions, but there is a little spot where you can type them in if you have a question as we go. We will have some time at the end, so hold on to those as much as possible, and at certain times I'll ask for your feedback. If you have any specific questions, hold on to them till the end and we'll get to them. Now, just to make sure that we're all can hear me, can you please pop your little hand up? There's a little button that you can press which looks like a hand. Hit that button and I should see some hands popping up just so that I can make sure that you can hear me. Okay, fantastic. Looks like we're all good to go. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're going to get stuck straight into it, guys. I know it's a little bit late, so we'll let you get into it, and then we can all get off to bed. I'm sure a lot of us have early starts tomorrow. Now, who am I? So I know some of you guys on the line have heard me speak before, so you have the general gist of it, but for those who haven't, I'll give you a quick rundown. Okay, so this is me. This is one of our boot camps. This is at our headquarters in Redcliffe, which is in Brisbane for those of you who are out of town. And this is our main studio where we run all our admin from, and that's our centre for all of our boot camps. Okay, so we're up to 8 different locations. However, this is the one that we run everything centrally from. So this is my buddy Jason, who, this is in grade 12, this photo, and he passed away when we were 21. The reason why that's an important part of this story is since then we started what we call the Jason Rich Foundation, okay, which funds Year 12 students through defensive driving courses. So that's a big part of what I do these days, and it's a big, I suppose it's my major reason why. And as a result of that, and that desire to grow the foundation and allow it to change as many lives as possible, and we want that to really be a major force in changing the world. It's forced me out of my comfort zone to grow a bigger business, okay, which leads us to our chat tonight, okay. So that's a big part of the story. This is a couple of kids that have been through our defensive driving course. We're up to 500 kids now, just over, who have been through a full day of defensive driving due to the funds that we've been able to raise. To raise those funds, we hold heaps of different events, as well as get sponsorships from businesses and all the rest of it. This is one of our events up in Yeppoon, which is in central Queensland. We have a boot camp up there as well. This is a fun run that we held up there earlier this year. I think it was March or April this year. Okay, so that's a brief rundown on who I am. I suppose there's 2 major parts to what I'm super passionate about. One is growing the personal training business. Positive Existence Personal Training is the name of that. And 2 is the Jason Rich Foundation. And what I've found is that they're very much intertwined, and for them both to grow, it really revolves around me growing. So I suppose lesson 1 in today's chat is that for your business to grow, you need to grow as a person. So really important to force ourselves out of our comfort zone at times. Okay, all the time, to be perfectly frank. Now, what you can expect from today. Okay, let's get really clear right from the start. Number 1 is a step-by-step guide as to how we started the boot camp, and this is our Rockhampton boot camp we're talking about here. And we took it from 0 clients to 135 clients within 14 weeks. Okay, pop your hand up if you'd be pretty happy with 135 clients after 14 weeks. Making sure you're still listening. Yeah, awesome. A few hands going up. Okay. Perfect. Now, you're also going to hear about some specific systems and tactics that we use to great effect. So literally some things that you can go away and do straight away for those of you who are already in the industry. For those of you who aren't yet, these are some great ideas for you. So make sure you take plenty of notes. Okay, and more importantly, from what you learned tonight, you take action. Okay, because learning without action, you may as well have been watching Home and Away instead. And you're going to learn some of the lessons that I've learned through my journey, okay? And you're also going to learn about how you can go out there and do it for yourself. So it's all well and good hearing about someone else doing it, but we're going to make sure that you specifically have some things that you can go away to do to go and see these results yourself, okay? Really, really important. Now, before we kickstart, a couple of things that we need to cover. everyone has a little I know button. So if at any point in tonight's presentation, if you feel yourself kind of saying those words, oh, I know that, or something along those lines, really be careful to check yourself, okay? Because as soon as we start saying those two words together like that, I know, our brain starts to switch off from any new learning. So it's more than likely that you'll miss out on things if you start saying I know, okay? So instead of that, keep paying attention, say something like, that's interesting, or that's a different way to put it, or something like that, and you'll keep your brain open to learning something new, okay? Or maybe just learning a finer distinction on something that you already did know. Really important that we interact, okay? So if I ask a question, pop an answer in there so that it'll keep you switched on, keep you engaged, and again, it'll just increase the learning from tonight. Take some notes as well, and I recommend just a piece of paper and a pen for that instead of typing away. And most of all, we want to have a bit of fun tonight. So if I crack a joke, even though I can't hear you laughing, I'll just assume that you are, all right? Even if it's not very good, okay, which is probably a fair chance to happen. So make sure we enjoy the whole process as well, because as much as I suppose society leads us to believe that business has to be serious and hard and all those kind of things, I think it should be pretty fun, and the more fun you can have with it, the more successful you're going to be, because the more you're going to enjoy the process and want to keep pushing through it, okay? Alrighty, time to rock and roll. I want to know what you want, so in your mind and writing down on your piece of paper, just to bring it to your consciousness, I want you to write down 3 things that you would like to get out of our time here tonight. What I would like you to type in the box so that I know what is the top thing, the number one thing that you want to know. While you're typing that in, I'd also love to know where you're at right now in your business, or possibly a lot of you still doing your course, okay? So you might type something, like whatever it is that you want to know, and currently 4 weeks into my Cert 3 and 4, something like that, okay? Cool. So the top thing you want out of tonight, and where you're at, just so that I know and I can tailor what we talk about tonight to make sure that it's relevant to you. I'll give you a little bit of time there to have a think. So we'll give it another 30 seconds or so. Okay, we've got someone who wants to learn how to be successful in the industry, currently studying Cert 3 and 4. How to get started with my career in the fitness industry. Yep. Cool. Hints on being successful from day one. Yeah, cool. Instead of learning all the hard lessons like I've learned. That's cool. You can leverage off that. And doing Cert 3 and 4 at the moment. So it looks like most people doing their certs. Someone looking just for a few ideas. Cool. Someone wants to know where to start and what steps to take. Yep. Cool, definitely cover that. Cool, we've got Robert and Melanie listening on the same line. Thanks for letting me know that. Cool, we've got someone that wants to know how to advertise your boot camps. Good one. There are many different ways. And doing certs at the moment. Okay, awesome. Okay, so it sounds like most of us are doing our certificates at the moment. So that's cool. Oh, we've got somebody studying from Japan. That's cool. Nice one. All right. I wonder, is it ski season over there in Japan at the moment, or is it opposite? I don't even know. That shows you how much geography I know. Okay, cool. We've got someone who's just started last week. Boiling hot in Japan, so no snow. All right. That's unlucky. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing that with me. Now, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this happened. Okay, this is me and Simon. Simon's the guy who actually runs that boot camp up there in Rocky. So I actually live in Brisbane at our, well, I don't live at our headquarters, but I work from our headquarters here in Brisbane. Okay, Rockhampton is about 800 k's away, kilometres for those of you who are not Queenslanders. So like all good things in life, it was pretty simple. I was actually sitting in the library talking to someone about getting them started on doing their Cert 3 and 4. Okay, as part of our business is we help people through that process. And I had a meeting with Simon straight after that, who I knew he was doing his Cert 3s and 4s, and actually knew him from when I was a kid playing footy. He was actually my footy coach. Okay, so it's a small world, and basically we sat down. I thought, he just wanted to ask a few questions about PTing and all the rest of it, and he had this idea to start a boot camp and we'll go into partnership. So I thought it sounded like a great idea. So we did it. Okay, so simple as that. We actually just got started and said, right, let's create a plan. Let's nut out the finer details, obviously, of our agreement here, and then we just went to work. Okay, and we made it happen. So the most important thing, to take out of that, I guess, is the action taking. Okay, so ideas are a dime a dozen. Everyone's got great ideas, and I'm sure plenty of you have experienced, everyone's willing to give you their ideas as well, but it's those who take action that get rewarded. Okay, so basically we teamed up to multiply our results. I can go and start a new boot camp, but I can only run so many boot camps, right? I can employ team members to go and do that as well, but at the same time, it's always going to be hard work because there's going to be team members leaving, having to find new ones, replace them, train them, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we teamed up to multiply our results. We both made a 100% commitment to making it happen. Okay, and again, that's critical because if you dip your toes in the water, not much is going to happen. You really got to dive into these things, and if you want to make a successful business, you got to go and really make it happen. It's not just going to work by itself. Just because you start a boot camp and put no effort into it, you're probably not going to get a great result at the end of the day. So we made a massive commitment to each other that we're going to make this thing work. Okay. So really, the cool thing about this is it opened up the door to a new way of thinking. So my old way of thinking was I'd go and start a boot camp and I'd get someone to take the sessions and I'd train them up and get them running sessions and I'd own all the boot camps. Okay, basically that was how it was. Problem with that is as we've grown and we're up to 8 locations now, as we grow, essentially we're just growing more and more headaches and things that can go wrong. Okay, so if at any point in time we lose a trainer or someone's sick at 5 in the morning and they can't go and take a session, it's really a bit of a nightmare. So in this situation, it kind of opened up a new way of thinking because all of a sudden we had someone with the time, energy and passion to go and run the sessions and go and find new business and all the rest of it. And then we had me who had the knowledge of how to make it happen. Okay, so we teamed up, created a great synergy and we worked really well together. And now that's opened up the door to a whole new part of our business, which is really, really exciting and also really exciting for you guys. And I'll tell you all about that as we go through tonight, where we can actually help you go out and start a boot camp and be successful just like we are with Simon in Rockhampton. Okay, so that's in a nutshell how it happened. Okay, it was pretty simple. Like I said, it wasn't complicated at all. It was, yep, we've decided this is a good idea, let's do it, and then we made it happen. Okay, so I suppose there's a lesson to learn in that as well, in that if something's a good idea, you go for it. Make sure obviously you evaluate that well and put the thought into it at the start. But more often than not, most people will talk themselves out of a good idea. Okay, really important to take action and make it happen. So I want to walk you through now some specific things that we've done or that we have done in Rocky to make it happen and that we do at all of our locations as well. Okay, so we really want to making sure we have a strong goal and a strong reason why. So sounds pretty simple, but you need to start with the end in mind. Okay, what does your business look like in 5 years, 12 months, and break that down to 90 days. Okay, most people overestimate what they can do in the short term, underestimate what they can do in the long term. Okay, repeat that again. Most people overestimate what they can do in the short term, underestimate what they can do in the long term. Pop your hand up if you can relate to that. And you'll probably see as you graduate, you'll have most people saying, yeah, I want to lose 10 kilos in this incredibly short amount of time, blah, blah, blah. And they think, yeah, no, I can do it, smash it, blah, blah, blah. Whereas really it would take a little bit longer than that, okay? But they would never be able to run a marathon. No, that's impossible. Whereas we all know that if you take action and you're doing your 4 or 5 runs a week, anyone, within reason could build up in time over a couple of years and be able to run a marathon, okay? So we overestimate what we can do in the short term, underestimate the long term. So it's really important that you sit down and think about your plan in advance, okay? So we want to make sure that we set a big goal for this 5 years, or it could be 10 years, it could be whatever. a big goal that we can go out and chase, and that's the end game. Okay, then we need to break that down and figure out what that looks like. Once we've got our 90 days, it becomes really clear then what we need to do to go and make it happen. Okay, so all we need to do is figure out, all right, if my goal is to have that many clients by the end of the 90 days, how many is that per week? How much action do I need to take to get that many clients every week? Okay, so the whole process becomes simple, and with that clarity comes a real sense of confidence and urgency to go and get it done. Once you're really clear on exactly what you want to achieve, the process to achieving it becomes fairly simple. Okay, so strategic alliances. This is an interesting one, and what I mean by strategic alliances is that we find a business with a similar target market to us. Okay, so if me and my business, we are serving predominantly women in the middle age bracket, so really between 30 and 40 is our kind of prime target market. Women 30 to 40, and they tend to work in office jobs. Okay, so they'll go to businesses like cafes on the weekend, they'll go and get their hair done, all that kind of stuff. They'll go and shop at clothes stores. Okay, so we know that if we can team up with those type of businesses, they're going to have direct access to the kind of people that come to our boot camps and really enjoy it and stay and refer people on. Okay, so you might be sitting there asking, how do I know who my target market is? And everyone's going to have slightly different. Okay, if you think about who gets the best results training with you, okay, and I know some of you aren't yet training people, but you'll soon figure it out. Who responds best to my training? Okay, it might be men, it might be women, it might be athletes, who knows? Who do I really enjoy working with is another question you can ask yourself. Okay, and who tends to be attracted to coming and training with me? Okay, so pretty soon after asking those type of questions, you will figure out who your ideal market is. Okay, so it's really important that you try and be specific to who you're working with. Not to say that every now and again you won't have someone else come down. Okay, so we might have a boot camp with 15 people. There might be 1 or 2 guys in there, and they don't mind, coming and training as long as they're having a good time. Okay, but we aim our marketing at that target market. Okay, so that's really critical. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, all right, we know what a strategic alliance is now, but how does it work? Okay, now with our licensees, which I'll talk about in a little while at the end of tonight's session, we spend a lot of time training them in exactly how to set up these strategic alliances, because it's incredibly important. We have a little lead box, okay, and you might have seen these, a lot of gyms use them, okay, you might see them in your Subway restaurant or places like that. It's got some kind of offer on it, people fill in their details and pop it in the box. So we've got more than 20 of these things located around different businesses just in Rocky or Rockhampton for those who've never heard of it. It's in central Queensland. That's the boot camp we're talking about, boot camp location. So 20 of these lead boxes around the place in hairdressers and places like that. Now the way that we go and do them, and obviously we haven't got time to go through in detail all the scripts that we use and all that kind of stuff. But in short, we'd give them a call. Okay, well, first of all, we'd list out all the businesses that we want to make contact with, and we figure out the businesses that our target market goes to. You might even ask your clients, hey, where do you get your haircut? What cafes do you go to? Make a list, or just get on Google. Cafes in, whatever suburb your boot camp's at. Then you're going to call them up. You're going to say, g'day, introduce yourself as a local business owner. Can I talk to the manager or owner? Beautiful. A lot of the time you get put on hold or told to call back or whatever. That's cool. Call them back when they say is the best time. You're going to talk to them and say, hey, I've just started a boot camp, blah, blah, blah. We're looking to team up with local businesses that we can help get more clients to you, and you can help us as well, so we can have a bit of a win-win relationship. Would you be open to having a chat about that? You'll get either a yes or a no. If you get a yes, you book a time, you go and see them, you build great rapport by telling them how nice their cafe is and all that kind of stuff. Without going over the top, obviously. And then you try and work out some kind of a win-win arrangement. So typically you might give them and their staff a great deal on coming to boot camp. In return, they pop a little lead box in their cafe or hair salon or whatever. Okay? Hands up if that strategy makes sense. Who thinks it's a good idea? Keep your hand up if you think it's a good idea. Okay? Now, lots of hands up. That's fantastic. Now, the problem with this strategy is, well, it's not a problem with the strategy, it's a problem with people who employ it, okay? Two problems. One is they might get a lead box in there and they never check it, okay? How we fix that is either go and check it, okay, simple, or develop a good relationship with whoever's looking after the box, and they're in charge of the box, and they send you the leads. They might take a photo and message it to you, okay? And follow them up and make sure they do that. Okay, that'll save you a whole bunch of time. Problem number two is people just don't do it, all right? So it's easy to sit here and say it's a great strategy, but you've got to get off your butt, get uncomfortable, make those calls, go and meet some people, okay? You can't just sit behind your computer and add bootcamp clients using this strategy, all right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's really important that you get out there and take some action. You get a lot of no's, okay? But for every 3 or 4 no's that you'll get, you're likely to get a yes, okay? So keep going through those no's until you get a yes. And then keep going again. All right, so one lead box not going to do much for you. Probably, you know, in our experience anyway, 1 out of 5 lead boxes that you actually get put in will end up being really good. The other ones will kind of die off anyway, okay? But without going through those other 4, you'll never get that one really good one. All right, number 3 in specific strategies, we need to come up with a win-win location agreement. And what I mean by this is our new licensees we've got starting in here in Brisbane on the south side very shortly, in about 6 weeks I think we're away. We just help them create a win-win agreement with their local venue, okay? So it's typically $30 an hour to hire this hall out, right? We come up with some things that we could do for them. So basically there's a little gym, it's like a PCYC type place. There's a little gym in there and they have members. And one of the things that our new licensees, Blake and Jess, are going to be doing is going and programming once a week for these guys that are in the gym. So that serves as a lead generator for them. They get to develop some rapport in that hour they spend doing those programs for the guys. And B, they've now got 4 sessions a week for free. Okay, so that's going to save them $120 a week, or well over $5 grand a year. Okay, so coming up with a win-win location agreement. Just because they say it's $30 an hour doesn't mean there's not something that we can do for them that's going to be valuable for them, that they would rather than that $30. Okay, so that's really, really critical, because they've just saved $120 a week, and guess where that $120 goes? See if you can guess. Type in your answer if you've got one. It's not a trick question. So that $120 per week, instead of going to the venue, goes into their pocket. And a couple of people have guessed it. Nice job. Straight into the back pocket. All right, fantastic. All right, or you can, you know, reinvest that money in the business and put it into some more marketing or something like that. Okay, so that's really important. In Rocky, we've developed a similar agreement. We get free venue hire at one of our venues, and we're going to be helping them develop a gym for their guys, which is also going to provide work for our team members. So they'll get paid an hourly rate to go and man the gym, and basically we keep an eye on them, make sure it's done really well instead of just mediocre by another trainer, and in return we get free access to their hall at the school. Okay, so there are two I suppose examples of win-win location agreements. Saves money, plus you get more leads, plus you're getting other benefits for your business as well. Okay, tip number 4 is you need a rock solid sales system. Now, let me say that again, rock solid sales system. What does that mean? So that means that when someone calls up your business, you know exactly the questions to ask them, and you know exactly the process that you're going to be trying to funnel them into to come out the other end with the best chance of them becoming a long-term client. Okay, so they don't just rock up to boot camp willy-nilly with their friends bringing them along. That might happen every now and again, but you try and avoid it. We really want to get them in a one-on-one situation where we can really spend a little bit of time, and typically we spend 30 to 40 minutes up front with these people before they've paid a cent. Okay, it's really important to understand this. We want to spend the time up front with these people to really, really help them. Okay, and if you can really, really help them, they're going to be much, much more likely to stay with you for a long period of time. Okay, you're going to have to be willing to get the odd person that you spend the time with that doesn't want to work with you. Okay, and that's life. but you're going to get more long-term clients spending that one-on-one time up front, really giving them some value and explaining through all the different options, and then rock and rolling from there. Okay, so it's very different to the way a lot of boot camps do it. Okay, we take more of a personal training appointment approach in that initial stage, where we give them that consultation for free, and we make sure that we really help them, give them some strategies to go away with, make sure we set some goals and all that kind of stuff, and they've made a commitment then to achieve those goals, and then we show them the process to achieving them. Okay, and obviously we have a very specific way of doing that, and we've videoed all that, and that's something that we teach to all of our new licensees as well as our new salespeople and trainers as well. Okay, so that's incredibly important. You can go out there and generate all the leads that you want with 20 lead boxes, but if you don't know how to convert them into sales, that's a whole lot of time that you just wasted. Okay, so having a rock solid sales system is imperative. If you do not have one, you are not going to have a successful business, no matter what line of business you go, but especially in such a service-based business like personal training or boot camp. Okay, it's all about the service. So spending that time up front, I can't stress that enough. Really want to add value to people, and they'll want to work with you if you've really helped them. Okay. Now, Facebook offers something that we've used really, really well. Not only using it on Facebook, but you can have an offer that you go and stand in the shops and tell people about. If you meet someone down the street that you haven't seen in ages and they're wondering what you're doing, you say, yeah, we're doing boot camp, and they sound interested. Cool, yeah, we've got this offer at the moment. This is how it works. Okay, having a great offer, something to get people's attention, and something that sounds good so that they're happy to give it a go. Okay, so a low barrier. We don't want to say, all right, our offer is 12 weeks of boot camp for $400. Okay, save $200. So you got to think of the psychology of someone. They're thinking 12 weeks of boot camp. I haven't even been to a session yet. I don't know if I'm going to like it. $400. What if I go for a week and I hate it? All these things are going through that person's head. If you have a low barrier offer, so in other words, they don't have to spend a huge amount to get started, they get to try it out for a few weeks or something like that, then it gives them a great reason to say, or basically it takes the reasons away, takes the excuses away. Okay, they can say, yeah, that sounds cool, happy to pay that, try it out for a little while, and rock and roll. Now, we have a very specific system of using our offers, and we actually get people signed on to ongoing agreements before they start their offer. But that's a whole webinar in itself, okay, on exactly how to do that. And that's the specifics of the system that we teach our guys, okay. But it works incredibly well, all right. So you can imagine, I'll show you a little photo in a little while, but before our Rocky Bootcamp actually started, we had 30-something people signed on ongoing agreements, okay. So before the first session, all right. So that's really critical so that we know we've got a strong business before we've started, okay. So, having a great offer. To back up that offer, we need to have great service. Okay, so you can have all the offers in the world, a great sales system, and spend all this time and energy up front, and then have a terrible service. People come to boot camp and they get left behind while everyone else is running off, or you haven't catered to the numbers, you don't have enough equipment, all that kind of stuff. You might not be getting back to their phone calls quickly enough, all that kind of stuff. So to be able to leverage the offer, we need to have great service. So in other words, if somebody comes to boot camp on this great offer and then they're blown away by the service you've created, what do you think they're going to do? Okay, more often than not, they're going to find someone to tell, okay, because they want to show off and say, oh, hey, I found this awesome boot camp, this great offer here, you should try it out, it's only this much, try it out for 4 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever the offer is. Hey, you got to come and try it out with me, it's awesome. Now, then you've really created value out of your offer, okay, because you got people sharing your offer instead of you spending money on advertising it, okay, or time and energy, all right? So really, really vital to any business, obviously, but especially our line of business, that service model is incredibly important, okay? Really, when we're talking about boot camps, I like to refer to it as group personal training. So taking that personal training attitude into your boot camps and your group training instead of that kind of gym class attitude where everyone sitting at the back of the room, following along, trying not to feel silly. Okay, so you're trying to create atmosphere, and you really want people engaged in that and really loving it. So you want to make sure that you're taking your service to all new levels all the time. All right. Now, we need to be able to back it up. So you talk all the talk at the start to get someone to sign up. You need to be able to back it up. So you need to be prompt on your admin, emails, phone calls, thank you cards. Send them a thank you card when they sign up, okay? It's incredibly powerful. Send them a birthday card. Be black and white. In other words, be transparent. Don't, have shady kind of direct debit deals going. Have an agreement up front that you walk them through. It's black and white. It's really clear, and they can see exactly what they've got to do if they want to stop, all that kind of stuff. Follow-up calls. So after their first session, they get a phone call, making sure they're feeling good. Social media, all that kind of stuff. Okay, be on the social media all the time. Now, very difficult to do all those things consistently and be efficient at it. So you need to leverage these things. A couple of options in leveraging. You can hire someone else to do it, okay? Or you become part of a team like ours, which I'll talk about, and we actually do all of that stuff for you. We have our own admin team that kind of do all that stuff, which saves you going out and hiring someone, managing staff, all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's really, really critical. So let's go back to the start. We need to start with the end in mind. Be really clear on exactly what you want to achieve. 5 years, 12 months, 90 days. Create a plan to make that 90-day action happen. And then you have a new 90-day plan. Okay? Strategic alliances. Leverage off the work other people have done in creating clients. Okay? If they have your current clients, you go and impress them and show them what a good guy or girl you are, and that you're worth coming and working with, and you have just leapfrogged a whole bunch of people that are out there trying to find these people themselves. Okay, they've already been found. Create a win-win location agreement. Save yourself some money, generate some more leads, get some more value into your business, and keep the money. Okay, don't spend the money. Having a rock-solid sales system. Remember, keep it one-on-one, spend the time up front. We're after lifetime value, okay, not quick cash. We want to build a strong business that's going to last and stand the test of time, not a 4-week boot camp promotion that ends and then we've got to start all over again, okay? Facebook offers, use them, they work, all right? And any type, create a good offer and then just tell as many people as you can about it. Facebook's just good because you can access a lot of people really quickly, okay? And you'll see an example of that if you shoot over to our Facebook page once we're finished, which is facebook.com/positiveexistencept. Okay, you'll be able to see our offers that we run there. Have unbelievable service. Leverage your offer. Get the most value out of it. Get people talking about it. Okay, they won't be able to believe that they got this bootcamp for this cheap, on this 2 or 4 week deal or whatever, and it's awesome as well. Okay, and they won't be able to help but tell people about it and back it up. Be prompt on all of your admin and be diligent with it, because it really adds credibility to your business, and it adds a sense of security to these people for them to think that they've made a great decision in working with you. And that's, at the end of the day, what we want them to be thinking when they work with us. When they send us an email, they know they're going to get a response. If they need their direct debits changed because they're going away, then they know it'll get done quickly and they'll get responded to and it'll all be sorted out. Instead of them stressing out about, hey, bloody hell, what's going on? And also, a point on that is, if you think about your competition, most of your competition does all of these things themselves, so inevitably the standard drops, okay? Instead of concentrating on running great sessions, they're running sessions, they're trying to chase up new clients, they're trying to learn how to do a sales system, trying to learn how to market, they're trying to reply to emails, and everything will tend to slip. Okay, and the service won't be that great anymore. It might be good at the start when they have a few clients. As they get a few more, it slips. Then they get a lot, it really drops, and then they lose clients. Okay, so we really want to avoid falling into that trap. Start off solid. We need to develop those systems or find someone who's already got those systems. Okay. All right. Now, I want to make sure that tonight's session isn't just you hearing a whole bunch of stuff and then forgetting about it when you finish. So we're going to really cement some of this stuff into your brain. So it's your turn to do some stuff, okay? What I would like to know is what your business looks like in 12 months. 12 months from today. What services are you going to offer? How many clients are you going to have? How many team members, if you're going to have any team members at all? How much turnover are those clients generating? How much profit? Okay, we're going to spend a couple of minutes here, and at this point in time, I don't expect you to have definite numbers. Okay, what I want to do is get your brain turning in this direction. Okay, what does your business look like in 12 months? Just start throwing some things there, just pop them into the answers part there, and let's just start throwing some ideas around. Okay, like I said, if you change your mind tomorrow once you've had a bit of a think about it and decide, hey, I want more clients than that, or I think I can get more, or hey, maybe I was a bit ambitious last night, that's cool. Let's just get your brain working. Put some things on paper. Type away. Just put something in there. What services? Are you doing boot camps? Are you doing personal training? Are you doing group personal training? Tell me what you're up to. Time to start thinking. And I understand some of you have only just started your course, but in my opinion, there's no better time to start thinking about where that course is going to lead. It's going to lead you to be more motivated to actually get the thing done. So maybe start with something simple. What type of business are you going to run? Is it going to be PT, or is it going to be bootcamp? Is it going to be group PT? Is it going to be a combo of all of those things? Cool. Connie's going to have PT, group PT, and it's going to be sports specific. Okay, so looking to work with sporting people. That's cool. Okay, cool. We're going to have personal training for Rob and Lani. They're going to be doing personal training and boot camp with 20 to 30 clients. Yep, cool. Awesome. In the Outback. Where in the Outback, Rob? Cloncurry. Nice one. Awesome. I went to a boarding school, and a few of the lads were from out that way, I think. Rings a bell. Pretty warm out there, I reckon, Rob. I think it's one of the hottest places in Queensland, from memory. You have to do those boot camps early in the morning. All right, Alex will be doing small groups, boot camps, focused at fat loss and strengthening. Okay, awesome. Good stuff. Getting nice and clear. 40 degrees every day out there. Make sure you invest in a good fan, mate. Get some of those ice vests for half time. Cool. All right, what else have we got? How many clients are we going to have? We know what's possible. You can get 130 odd in just over 3 months. How many can you have in a year? Thousands for Alex. I like that. Awesome. All right. Now, what I want you to do, list 5 things. So what we're getting to do right now is be specific, okay? We need to go away with a list of things that we can do. So for you, this might not be right tomorrow, okay? If you haven't got a business yet, you're still doing your course, might not be tomorrow, but it might be things that you can start to think of and start to do. It might be someone you need to go and talk to, okay? You might be listening to their webinar right now, and you might decide, hey, I need to talk to that person, ask this question that I have, okay? I'm saying that you do that, but you might think of someone else, hey, I know this guy in business, I want to go and talk to him because I think he'll be able to help me. List 5 things that you can improve straight away or help you get there. A list of 5 things that you can go away and do. Is it start working on an offer? Is it developing a system for your sales? Or is it going away and just learning about sales? It could just be you going and reading as many sales blogs as you can and watching some sales videos on YouTube. Courtney's going to have 15 regular clients per week, boot camps, small group training sessions with lots of profit. I like that, lots of profit. Okay, cool. So it sounds like you want to deliver a high service model where you might have a few people in your group sessions, in your small group sessions, but you charge them more than, say, most people would charge, say, their bootcamp clients, okay? Because you want to have a high profit model in your group training. We've got Rob again, keep motivated, yep, 5 things to do, stick to a goal, yeah, create a goal and stick to it, be accountable to it, and get ideas from targeted clientele. That's a great one. So in other words, find out who in your circle is your ideal client, go and ask them what kind of things they want out of a personal trainer. What kind of programs would they be interested in? What type of training do they like to do? Then you can start to design some programs and create some ideas on different things that you'll be able to do and start to take some action. Okay, Elliot's got a few here, that's awesome. So he's got product placement, marketing strategies, yep, so developing some strategies, networking, great. Create a web page / Facebook, yep, perfect. And focusing on client retention, so good. So yeah, you could break each one of those down and create specific things underneath them. So client retention, for example, might be developing some systems. It could be implementing thank you cards, birthday cards, follow-up phone calls, how are you calls every now and again. Sending your clients a gift. Okay, if you spend $5 sending your client a gift in the mail, especially works well. How many weeks, do you think that would, or how much on the back end would that profit you? Okay, so in other words, if I feel really good about this gift that someone's given to me, I'm more likely to keep doing business with them, right? So if the gift cost me $5, I spend $50 a week going to your boot camps, and as a result of that, I keep going for an extra 6 weeks, okay? That $5 just turned into $300, okay? So that would be well worth it, I'm sure you would agree. All right, awesome. Okay, good stuff, guys. Now, what are you going to get done in the next week? What specific things can you get done in the next week? Now we're getting really clear on what you're going to go away and do, okay? Because like we said, knowledge without action is wasted time. Rob's got keep studying. Yep, that's definitely important. Is there anything else that you can do in the background? Could you track down someone, like you said before, that is in your target market and ask them a few questions, or just something simple to get you going? Because while obviously getting your study done is a great idea, you need to have a plan by the time you finish that study as to what you're going to do. Otherwise, you're going to have a big gap in between. And a lot of people fall into that trap. They'll focus on their study, finish the study, don't know what to do. Okay, cool. Courtney's going to start studying on campus and stay motivated. Cool. Stay motivated is great, but let's get something more specific. Okay, so what does that mean to you? Does that mean, like literally, what action are you going to go and take? Okay, are you going to learn a bit more about business by reading a business blog every week? Something like that. Or start following some different fitness pros on Facebook, or signing up to their email lists. Things like that. What are you going to do tonight to take you one step closer to your goal before you go to bed tonight? You might spend 5 or 10 minutes going back to that question at the top of the screen where we're talking about what does your business look like in 12 months. If you literally just think about that question for 10 minutes and write down as many things that pop into your head as possible, that's going to start your brain moving in the direction that we want it to move in for you to be successful. Cool. Connie's got a great one. Start setting up systems and welcome packs. That's awesome. Good. So you might, start by tonight just jotting down all the things that you want to have systemized. Okay, so you create a table of contents for your systems manual. And then over the next however long, took me about 4 years, but it might not take you that long, you start filling in all those pages, writing all the systems, shooting the videos, figuring out exactly how you want your clients to feel and the experience that they get when they come into your business. Okay, that's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, really good to be clear on exactly what we want to do. Now, some of you might be sitting there asking yourselves this question: why the hell am I helping you? Okay, Barack was asking the same question just earlier today. So, really simple. After this whole thing with Simon and Rocky happened, as I said before, created this new pattern of thinking. Okay, this new direction that my brain was working in. So I tracked down this guy called Tom Potter, who, for those who don't know, was the creator and the founder of Eagle Boys Pizza. Okay, so a franchise business that obviously was very successful while he was running it. He's now for quite a few years. At its height was about 300 stores across the country, okay, and New Zealand as well. So we've created a system where trainers can leverage off me and my team and all the things that I've learnt along the way and all the systems that we've created and all the testing and measuring that we've done over the last 4.5 years that I've been in business, okay? So basically it takes away a lot of the hassles, headaches, and the harsh lessons that I've had to learn. And there's been plenty. We haven't had the time to kind of go through many of the tough times tonight. But I can assure you that there were plenty of them, and certainly a lot of lessons that I learnt. Okay, basically, why I'm running this for you tonight and trying to help as many people as possible with their journey into the fitness industry is that I'm looking for motivated trainers open to the idea of partnering with me and my business to fast track their road to success, just like Simon has. Okay, in Rockhampton, and created a massive win-win situation. We're up there, we've got a business within a few months that's profiting somebody thousands of dollars every week, okay? And that's somebody who's never been a personal trainer before. They've just got a lot of up and go, and they've plugged into all the systems that we have and that we've spent a lot of time and energy in creating over the years, okay? And being able to go out there, put them into play, and get some fantastic results, okay? Which is very rewarding from my point of view to be able to help someone achieve as well. Okay, how does it work? You might be asking yourself that question, and that would be a great question, okay? Very simple, in fact. You simply purchase the right to use our name. We train you, so we spend a whole week in training you in all the major systems, okay? And then you get ongoing training as time goes by. So we train you in detail about all things PEPs, okay? You'll get walked through opening your location and making sure it's a success right from the get-go, okay? To give you an example of how much that costs, obviously we'll have that conversation, but it will cost you less than a week's turnover of our Rockhampton Bootcamp, okay? It's going to cost you less than most of you paid for your qualification in the first place. So in terms of the return on investment, it's incredibly high. I know someone that has bought into a couple of different franchises. To buy into those, they had to spend about $250,000 just to get started, and they have to employ all of these young kids that are difficult to manage, and they profit less than our Rocky Bootcamp every week, okay? With a lot more headaches, I can tell you. So in terms of buying into a business that's essentially systemized and all the hard work's been done for you, it's an incredibly easy way to get started in the business world, okay? And effective. So basically then you get mentored every fortnight by myself. You have your admin done for you by our admin team. We look after your online marketing. You get trained in any new systems that we create. So for example, we've just updated a small addition to our sales system this week, which has been really greatly received by all of the people that have been implementing, all our salespeople, and it's been getting great results. So you get to leverage off that learning that we get. So, I might go to a seminar or talk to someone who's, high up in the business world, or just read a book and get a new idea. Create a new system, we test it, then if it works, we unleash it to everybody else, okay, and let you guys know all about it, okay, so that you can benefit from that as well. You get to leverage off our name and resources, so, our Facebook page, the fact that we actually have a recognized brand that someone feels comfortable in, in working with. We get our monthly webinars that we give to all of our clients. So just like tonight, but it'll be more on nutrition or setting goals for our clients, that kind of thing. So your clients get access to that as well. They get access to our membership website. You get all of your bootcamp sessions written for you. Basically, you get all the boring, hard stuff done. Okay, it leaves you to focus on running great sessions, getting more people to sign up to your boot camps, promoting through local businesses, and generally being laser focused in what you want to achieve. Okay, all that ongoing costs you less than a regular business coach, plus you get all the painful activities done for you. Okay, so long story short, you're getting an unbelievable deal. All right, now, good question. Okay, so if we do all of that, what do you have to do? This is a photo of one of our first sessions in Rocky, actually. So you can see we've got a good crew there that was in our first week. Okay, I think it was our second or third session. What do you have to do? Some of this stuff, so getting down to the markets. This is me and Matt, one of our sales guys. You go to the markets, you'll talk to people, promote your special offer, and obviously we walk you through that process and exactly how to do that and exactly how to do it to get the best results that convert into sales. So all you do is 4 things, okay? So like I mentioned before, you have laser focus on doing these 4 things really well. We look after all of the murky stuff, okay? All the things that are time consuming and take you away from building your business. So number 1, you run great sessions, okay? We teach you how to do that, and you go and do it. Number 2 is you sign up new members, and again, we teach you how to do that with our sales system, which is very, very effective. Number 3, your local face-to-face marketing, like in that picture at the markets or going to the businesses. Again, we teach you how to do that. Number 4, you deliver wow factor. So instead of getting tied down behind your computer, replying to emails and changing, payments for people going away and writing thank you cards and all that kind of stuff, you focus on delivering great service to your clients, which gets them talking about your business, which means you get more referrals and more repeat business and more loyalty. Okay, so in other words, the fees that you pay will quickly pay for themselves. Okay, and they are well worth the investment. All right, so very, very simple. I can't make it any clearer, I don't think, at this point in time. So you have laser focus and clear direction. Okay, the fortnightly coaching that you get with me sets you on that path where you know exactly what you've got to do on the next fortnight, what you've got to get done. You go away and do it. Okay, it's that simple. You go away and do those things, and you get great results. Number 3 is that the best part of all this is that instead of working hard for someone else who goes and reaps all the rewards, okay, you get to learn, grow, and at the same time reap all the rewards yourself. Okay, so if you do a great job and run a great business, obviously we're helping you do that to make it a lot easier for you, but you reap all the rewards from that. Okay, all that extra income from doing a great job and keeping all your clients and getting new clients, you are rewarded for that, not you signing up all these clients for somebody else and doing a great job at their boot camps and them getting paid, all the good stuff at the end of the day. Okay, so that's really cool. Little saying that I really like is that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay, so you're in a team still, but you still get the rewards of being a business owner. Okay, from here, if this is something that interests you, really simple. We'll have a chat. Okay, we'll book in a 15-minute bit of time where we can have a bit of a chat, go over what you've learned from today, and see if we will be a good fit to work together. Okay, so basically we have 3 spots available if you want to launch a business in January. All right, so for you guys doing your full-time course at the moment, you'll be finished, I'm thinking, by mid-December, I think a lot of you. Basically, we spend a week training, okay? So from Tuesday, December 3rd, Saturday, December 7th, we spend that week, and we have 3 spots available for this week that you're going to learn how to run all the systems that we've created, how to run great boot camps. You'll learn what we're all about, all that kind of jazz. And basically, we get you set up so that you know how to do everything in that week. Obviously, then, between that time and launching, there's a bit of a gap that we need to fill in terms of you learning some more stuff. So every week between then and our launch, we catch up every single week, okay, and go through all the things that we need to do and the things that we need to practice and anything else that we need to learn, okay. Benefits of starting in January. You're going to get more leads because it's January and everyone wants to get fit. So in terms of launching a business, we found that it's much easier to do in January because everybody's looking, okay. And you're also going to save $2,000, okay, $2,000 that you're going to save. Like before, go straight back into your back pocket, okay? In other words, what I'm saying is that after these 3 spots are filled, our next launch, okay, we'll be training people up in February for a March launch. The fees will be $2,000 more expensive, okay? Simple reason being that we get better and better at what we do, and it becomes more and more valuable. Okay? Now, really simple. If you think that's a cool idea, all you need to do is send Abby, who is our office manager, a text message. You want to do that ASAP. I'll do that right now if I were you, and you're interested in having a chat. Like I said, you're not committed to anything. All we're doing is having a chat. So Abby will book in 15 minutes with me where we can just have a chat on the phone and have a bit of a yarn about what you want out of your business and seeing if we're potentially a good fit, as well as going over a few more details. And I'm sure you'll have a few questions, and we have a process to go through with you which explains a lot more and puts it black and white really, really clearly. Okay, so all you're going to do is send her a text message on this number here, 0415058744. You're going to let her know, hey, it's so-and-so, listen to Jake's webinar, and can I please organise the time to have a chat? She'll give you a call tomorrow, book a time with me, and we'll go from there. Okay, pretty simple process. It's not meant to be complicated in any way, but you will need to take some action and get on the phone and send her a text message ASAP if you do want to have that chat. Like I said, we have 3 spots available for this January launch. Okay, so it is prime time to get stuck into it. This is the first time we are offering it to the greater public. We have a couple of people already committed to it that are just people that have come to us. Okay, this is the first time we've really broadcast it. So we are, looking to have these spots filled within the next couple of weeks. So if you want the chance to even just have a chat about it, see if it's for you, get on that text message. Okay. Now that's about it from me. What I would like to do now is we've got about 5 minutes left. So I am happy to answer any questions that you have coming out of tonight, or you might just have a bit of a different question based on something that you've heard, or just querying something, or question about marketing or whatever. As long as it's related, obviously, to you kicking off your business. So it's going to benefit everybody, in other words, the answer to your question. So ask a question, stick on the line. I'm sure someone will have a question. It could be about the marketing. It could be about, finding a location or finding a venue. What's something that you're a little bit unsure of? Maybe what type of business is best for you? I'll give you another 20 seconds, be quick. Here we go. Courtney's got a question. Thank you. Okay, good question. How long does it take to get a good business up and running? Well, it depends, Courtney, how you define a good business. Okay, it's taken me 4.5 years to get to the point where I'm at. To give you an example, the most time-consuming part of that is learning the lessons and developing the systems. Okay, so you can't out-earn what you learn. All right. Now, that's a really, really important one. You can't out-earn what you learn. So you need to learn, you need to be a scholar. So the fact that you're online here tonight learning stuff is a great sign. So I'm kind of preaching to the converted, but you should always be looking to take that learning to a new level. So in answer to the question, I mean, it's as long as it takes you to learn how to be a good business owner. That would be the answer. You can fast track that process, obviously, by leveraging off people who have been there and done it before, which is what we're talking about here with the licensing arrangement, okay, where you can learn off me, and not to mention you just plug all the systems in and they're all ready to go. You just have to learn how to do them, which saves a heck of a lot of time, but you're learning straight from the horse's mouth instead of going and reinventing the wheel, okay? So it can take as little as a few months, like is the case in Rocky. It could take as long as 4.5 years if you're starting from scratch. Most people, to be honest, will never create a good business because they'll never put the effort into learning. They'll put all the effort into doing, okay, and keep doing the same thing over and over and never get any better. Okay, here's a long one, so let me go through this. Just started studying, want to start with PT, then in the next 5 years own my own studio, have a to be a fitness instructor and run boot camps, age groups. I'm looking for women who want to burn fat. Okay, cool. So I suppose that's a bit of background, and yeah, cool. Okay, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Great to be clear on exactly what you want to do. Okay, that's where it all starts. Cool. This is a good question from Natalie. Do you have set locations / towns available? So yeah, basically, Natalie, that's a great question. When we have a new person come on board, we reserve them their location. Okay, so there's literally thousands of possible locations in Australia, and in saying that, we wouldn't even limit ourselves to Australia because there's a whole world out there, right, that is getting fat. So, set locations, no. We can just kind of go anywhere really that we see an opportunity. So really that depends on finding the right people. So if you're the right person and you're in a location that we think is viable, and we'll certainly sit down with you and assess that, but 9 times out of 10 it's viable as long as you've got the right person in charge, okay, then we can open a location, okay? And the process there would be that we reserve you that space so that we won't have, your next door neighbour come and want to start one as well, start one in the same town. If it's just not going to happen, if it's a small town, there's just no point in doing that. So once you've got a location, then we reserve it for you. Okay, so I suppose I'm a little bit unclear of the question, but I hope I've answered it. So we find the right person, and then they, are in a set location typically, unless we might have a discussion and say, hey, this next town over here is only 20 minutes away. We think that's a much better option. Would you be happy to travel that 20 minutes every day? So typically, though, we can get running pretty well in any place. So we're in a town as small as about 20,000 and successful there. And then we're in Brisbane, which is, obviously a big city, okay? And Rocky somewhere in between. So certainly not limited. Good question from Elliot. Where do we have existing boot camps now? Good question. So we have North Brisbane, we have Clayfield, Eatonsill, Brackenridge, Redcliffe and North Lakes. Okay, and then up in central Queensland, we have Rockhampton, Gracemere and Yeppoon. Okay, so we're currently at 8 locations. We've got our 9th one starting in November, and then we're opening these new ones, which we're discussing right now, in January. Okay, so that's a good question. Still plenty of places that we don't have boot camps in yet. Rob asked a good question, what about Mackay? That's an interesting question, because we were actually talking to someone yesterday who's looking at possibly opening one in Mackay. Okay, but that's not to say that it's a done deal or anything like that either yet. So still up for grabs, but certainly being the first people that we talk to, they would typically have the first dibs. Okay, or in other words, first priority pick. As long as we, come to the agreement that they're the right kind of person. Okay, here is a good question. So just for Natalie's sake to get clear. So Natalie says, so we just implement your bootcamp classes branding into our own business, or is it separate? So I think I understand the question. So Natalie, it's your business, okay? You're simply operating. You have a license agreement to operate using our name, our brand, and all of our systems. And part of that agreement is that we coach you through the whole process, okay? And we essentially become your business coach as well as your mentor, okay? As well as the fact that you use all of our systems and all that kind of stuff. So you're the owner of the business. And yeah, Elliot's got a question. So like a franchise. It's fairly much exactly like a franchise, okay? So you have franchising and licensing, which are very, very similar, okay? Licensing is just a little bit of a simpler arrangement, simpler agreement, and not as complicated legally as a franchise, which we've done on, very purposefully to keep it very simple and avoid a lot of headaches for both parties. Instead of going the franchising option, we use the licensing option. So yeah, like you see your Eagle Boys Pizza down the street, that's a franchise. Your license will work very, very similarly to that. Okay, just from a legal perspective, it's different, but not a huge amount of point going into that right now. Rob says we'll be second. Yeah, Rob, what I would recommend, mate, text Abby and we'll book in a time for you there. I'll scroll back a screen if you missed the number. Okay, there you go. Do you know if the customers prefer to do boot camps outside or in a studio? That's a fantastic question, Shana. We run all of our boot camps indoors because we know our customers like that. Okay, so that's the feedback we got from them. So our target market likes to do them indoors. If you're running a business that's totally different in terms of the target market, that would be a whole different question, which you'd have to test and measure and ask the people, okay? But we know in our business, we like it or our clients like them indoors. We like them indoors as well because it means we can create a consistent business that's not reliant on the weather. People don't get bitten by ants, get too sandy or grassy. We don't get kicked off the lawn because the council's trying to mow it or something like that. We're in control, okay? There's less uncontrollables. So that's, I hope, answers that one. Yeah, cool. Robert's got a good question. What about if we wanted the coaching, etc., but want our own business name? Robert, mate, that's a good one. Good question. It wouldn't really be something that I would be hugely passionate about doing with you because I've got my own goals in growing my business and spending time coaching people that I suppose are off in a different direction is probably not one of the things that I'm hugely passionate about. However, I could recommend some good people for that for you. Okay, so if that's what you're interested in, just let me know and I'll pass you on to the people that can help you with that. And they are very, very good at it. Okay, here's a good question from Alex. It looks like a long one. I know it's down the track, but if I opened up a boot camp in one location and after getting that one up and running and wanted to open up another location, would that count as 1 or 2 franchises? Good question, Alex. The answer to that question is that we haven't come to that situation yet. However, we do have a system in place where instead of having 2 franchises, you essentially have like a super license. Okay, so you would pay a slightly higher fee, but you would have 2 locations instead of 1. Okay, so obviously you still get the same amount of coaching and stuff, so that doesn't double or anything like that, but we are reserving you another location. Okay, so that means that's 1 less location that we can find someone else for. So you will pay a slightly higher fee for that, but certainly the benefits of having that second location would outweigh the the small extra cost. Okay, so there will be a small extra cost, but it wouldn't be the same as having 2 wholly completely different licenses. I hope that answers the question, but like I said, we can answer that in more detail with you when we chat. So I'm sure that you're going to send Abby a text and we can have a bit more chat about that. Yeah, Natalie's got a good question. I know I shouldn't, but what ballpark figure are you asking? Do you find a venue also? We certainly help you find a venue. So ballpark, you're looking at slightly less than most personal training courses. Okay, so I suppose that gives you a rough idea. But again, we can chat about exact numbers when we have a talk on the phone. Okay, so book your time with Abby and I'll be happy to walk you through all of that. And the reason being is that I want you, if you're going away and comparing different options in your for your future, I want you to be able to compare apples with apples and oranges with oranges. So if I give you a number and you don't know exactly what that number even entitles you to, then it's not worth the paper it's written on. You need to take that principle with your clients as well. So if someone asks the price on the phone, you need to know what better questions to educate them on so that they know exactly what they're going to be purchasing, instead of them saying, how much is your personal training? Bang, all right, they call the next person, oh, this one's cheaper, I'll go with that one. Okay, so that's incredibly important as well. I hope that makes sense. So not brushing that off, it's just a really important lesson to make or take home. Okay, now it looks like, so once we had a bit of a slow start with the questions, but they got rolling. So it sounds like you guys have plenty of questions, which is fantastic. So what I would suggest you do, like we said, you're not committed to anything. All we're doing is having a chat on the phone. I'm not that scary. So it's all good. Just send Abby a text. She'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll organise a time to chat. That number one last time is 0415 058 744. So if you haven't already, text that number. Do it now. And I look forward to having a chat to you over the next few days. And from me, thank you very much for listening tonight. And I hope you got some stuff out of it that you can go away and take. And I hope a few of you are keen to have a chat and see if we could be a good fit to work together. And I'm really, really excited about the possibility of helping some of you, be incredibly successful and live a great life as a result of it, and learn from a lot of the things that I've done. So at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, you getting to where you want to get to much more efficiently, and without having the absolute massive dramas that potentially can be out there. So thanks again, guys, very much. I appreciate the time that you've given up, and I look forward to chatting to you more. And just on a side note, we'll be having plenty more of these type of webinars on a whole bunch of different things. So stay tuned to your emails, and you'll be the first to hear about them. Thanks again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.